What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday I gave away two free winners. We were on a 3-0 run, and then two free winners yesterday. So we're on a 5-0 run on the free picks again. I actually accidentally gave away one of the plays that was in the VIP, but then since it was already out there, I just said, you know what? And then I actually gave the other play as well. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Also, click on the little notification bell, and then go to where it says the link in the description, and then click on free picks. I'm going to show you guys the receipts for that, but first I wanted to give you guys this points, rebounds, and assists. These are not our final plays. These are just strong players that have been hitting their lines. So, for example, Kelly Oubre Jr., he's hit this line 18.5 5 straight games. Now, the reason I have to make this very clear is that, for example, 76ers played yesterday, so you would have to take that into consideration, and you have to do your own research. So just because he has hit this line a lot of times doesn't mean that he's going to hit it today. That's for the points, rebounds, and assists. Let me zoom in a little bit. Also, if you're subscribed to us, you'll get the alert whenever we post these as posters, or actually it's called as posts on YouTube. All right, same thing for the shots on goal. This guy, Tarasenko, he's hit this 1.5 line of shots on goal 7 straight games in a row. Again, you can take screenshots, you can pause the video, whatever you need to do. And then the anytime touchdowns for the Super Bowl. These are the players that have gotten, this guy has gotten two touchdowns in the last few games. So has this guy, and then all of these have gotten 1 touchdown. Again, do your own research. These are not our final plays. I'm going to give you guys one very strong parlay. I was actually going to stay away from today's games. I didn't like the slate. There was a lot of contradictions. I'm going to talk about some of those contradictions, but then I'm going to give you a very strong parlay that I really like today. So the first thing I like to look at in the morning is the back-to-back trends. And then secondly, I like to look at the sharp edge tool. If you want access to this tool, it's free for 14 days, for 2 weeks. Go to the link in the description, then go to where it says tools that we use, and then click on the sharp edge. But before I get started, I'm going to give you guys the proof of yesterday of what happened. I did say to go with the Timberwolves on the under. I did say to go with the Hornets on the under 239. And then I also said the Timberwolves could have lost by 2 and they would have still won the bet. They ended up winning by 25. So this was a very, very easy hit. This one was very easy as well. They didn't even cross 225 over here. So you can see those were the final score. Like I said, they won by 25. They also went on the under, which is the one of the other ones that I gave away unintentionally. I actually took that same parlay, which was the Hornets and the 76ers on the 239, and I parlayed it with the Timberwolves on the under 245. These guys did not even cross 200 points. It was like 183 points total. It's actually 191 points total. They did not even cross 200 points. And I had them all the way at under 245. So we won that one by like 50 points or something crazy like that. Anyways, guys, if you see the comments on yesterday's video, you'll see that they said, man, that was an easy hit, stuff like that. So, all right, let's get into today's play. The first thing I like to look at is the back-to-back. You can see Portland win against Washington. Portland is going against Washington. Portland is away. Washington's at home. So Washington does have a 1-day rest advantage, and Portland traveled. It's not a crazy long travel because they went from Boston, but still, they did travel. Now you got Milwaukee versus Philadelphia. Like I said, Philadelphia is at home, and then Milwaukee has a 1-day rest advantage. Now we start looking at these projections here, and like I said, I'm going to give you like some of the stuff on why I'm staying away from these games. So for example, the Portland Trailblazers are supposed to win this by 8. Yet they traveled and they played yesterday. Wizards is trash, but again, they're at home, they're rested. Any professional team can beat another professional team, no matter how bad they suck. But Washington is tanking right now completely. The reason, like I said, Wizards have lost 9 straight games in a row, and they're tanking almost intentionally to get a better draft pick. But again, Portland traveled. They lost yesterday to the Boston, so there's a good chance that Portland is going to win this game. I just don't trust it. There's other reasoning, but I'm just staying away from that game. Now, a lot of people are talking about the 76ers to win today. Giannis is out. He's been out. I think he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And 76ers has an elite ATS trend, so they cover the spreads at home 11 out of the last 15 games. They also cover the spreads when they're on a back-to-back, 7 out of 8 games. But again, I don't trust it because, like I said, they played yesterday. And the good thing about this is that Giannis is out. And then Embiid and Paul George are actually coming back today. So they're actually still listed as questionable. What I would do if you wanted to take the 76ers is wait for the injury report to be confirmed. I'm not going to get into the details of the Suns, but they should win this game pretty easily. The last time we went against the Nets, they ended up losing by like 40 points or something crazy like that. Also, Phoenix is an elite team at home. All right, so now let's get into the play here. So if I go to where it says sharp plays, you get these every single day. If there's anything that's sharp, it'll give you a moderate or high and things like that. So I don't always take the ones that are listed here, but it gives me a good glance on where I should be looking. So like I said, the Suns is a very strong play. I'm going to stay away from that one. I just don't like, for other reasons and stuff, I don't think they're going to cover the spread, things like that. But Suns is a very strong play overall. I do like the Knicks over here. I don't like the spread, and I'm going to give you the exact play on how I'm playing this. If you want access to this tool, like I said, it's 2 weeks for free. The link is in the description for that. All right, so the first leg of this 2-leg parlay is going to be the Clippers. They're supposed to win this by 11 points. You can see the projected scores. One thing I don't like right here is because Kawhi Leonard is questionable. So if you don't want to take this, especially not at the spread, make sure that Kawhi Leonard is playing. I believe that's the reason this line dropped 3 points. But again, I don't care about that because we're taking them on the money line. We're not taking them on the spread. You can see 64% of the bets, 54% of the money came in on Clippers. Clippers do cover the spread 7 out of 10 games. Again, that's with a full squad, which they might be missing Kawhi Leonard. Now, if we go deeper into this, you see the Jazz in their last 6 games, they're at 0%. So they lost 6 straight games when they're going against top 10 scoring defenses. Now, let me give you some very strong stats for the Clippers, just so you have an idea why I'm taking them, okay? On the Jazz side, you got Keontae George, which is out, Nurkic, which is doubtful, and then Markkanen has been out. Now, another thing to note, normally I don't look at this stuff, but Jazz have a game tomorrow, so they have to kind of reserve their players for tomorrow's game as well. Now, on the opposite side with the Clippers, they're 15-18 in the last 18 games, so they've won 15 out of their last 18 games. They're 8-9 in their last 9 games. They've only lost 1 game in the last 9 games. Now, the last time they played each other, they won by 17 points, the Clippers did. And also the last 9 out of the last 15 games, they've won by double digits. So the Clippers are super red hot right now. So again, the first leg of this is going to be the Clippers on the money line. Now, one very important note before I give you the second leg of this parlay is a lot of people tell me like, hey, I can't get the lines that you're getting. I have no control over that because your book might not have the lines that I have available. I'm in Illinois, so I have access to a lot of sports books. But if you don't have it, there's actually an international book that you can see here. They have an alternate lines today for the Knicks. I'm sorry, for the Kings and the Knicks. But again, I can't guarantee you're going to get the lines that I'm getting because every book is different. But if you don't have access to alternate lines, make sure you send me a text message and say, hey, I'm interested in this this alternate line sports book that you have. They're actually available in 48 different states. The only ones they don't manage is New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. All the other states, you can access this sports book directly. All right, so for the second leg of this, I'm not going to get too crazy into the details. I'll just give you like an overview. They're supposed to win by 11. The line went from 12.5 to 13.5. So the line is shifting in their favor. Even though Sacramento has the majority of the bets, 60% and 57% of the money, the line is still shifting in the favor of the Knicks. Now, if we look down here on the expert insights, you can see the Knicks on their last 36 games, whenever they started as a favorite, they've hit 72% of those games. I'm going to show you the exact slip of how I'm playing this, but let me just give you a little bit more stats on the Knicks. I'm going to go very quickly on this. They're fully healthy. The line is dramatically high at a minus 13.5. They're going against a very weak Kings team. If you've been following this channel, you know we've been fading the hell out of the Kings. The Kings are actually on a 9-game losing streak on the road. They're 0-5 in the last 5 games overall. On the other side, you got the Knicks. They're 4-0 when they're heavy favorites like they are today. So all the data is pointing towards the Knicks to win this game pretty easily. Make sure you subscribe, guys. I really give a lot of good value in this channel. So please make sure you subscribe. Also leave a comment if you agree with this stuff. If you don't agree with it, whatever. Send me a comment, like, subscribe. And here's the play, guys. I'm going with a 2-leg parlay right here. I got the Knicks at a minus 3.5, and then I got the Clippers on the money line. If you don't want to take this because it's a higher risk that Kawhi Leonard is not playing, I already gave you all the reasoning why this is a super hot team. But that, like I said, that does include Kawhi Leonard. If he doesn't end up playing, this value of this line is actually going to get better over here. but it's a higher risk because, the only thing with this is that I already showed everything, and the Jazz are just completely trash, just like the Wizards are. So anyways, I'm taking this. It's already put in. If you guys like this, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with a couple of buddies that do the same thing. Thank you so much. Let's have another great day. We're on a 5-0 run. If Kwame Leonard plays, this should be a very easy hit. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.